Hello, I'm Arthur Perkins, and this is Apgamingreal. In case this is your first time here, that is simply because you've come for, well, I don't know, starts without numbers, or you randomly stumbled on this channel. So let me fill you in on who I am real quick. I am an electrical engineer and also a tabletop role-playing game streamer and entertainer. I have been given the following reviews and qualifications. In the categories of storytelling, script writing, and role-playing, I am considered average to below average. In presentability, I am considered far below average. Nothing? I literally wrote right here, pause for laughter, but none came, so the joke pointing it out is slightly funnier than the actual joke. It's not working for me.
I mean, there's no need to be so self-critical, you
know? Well, my two talents listed here apparently are I am a throughput for money for artists, which is a very important talent, and also I have a non-irritating voice. I'll take it. Take it.
I mean, it's pretty key. If you go around catching all the streams of D&D streamers, I mean, not everyone doesn't have an annoying voice, or whichever.
Working through that one. All right. So we normally play Dungeons and Dragons. This would be our 18th episode. Actually, I think it'd be our 17th episode of Dungeons and Dragons, since one of those episodes was Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands. Instead, we're starting a Stars Without Numbers campaign because we've been abandoned by one of our members. So fortunately, Cottontailed came down from the heavens and was gracious enough to accept us. We are now playing her campaign.
We couldn't push Mick out fast enough.
I don't know where I'm going with this. All right. So, I posted in chat where you can pick up the Stars Without Numbers revised rulebook on DriveThruRPG. By the way, quick plug, DriveThruRPG is amazing. I have a like a follower link on my channel at twitch.tv/apgamingreal. You press the button, you buy whatever products you want, and a small portion of it gets siphoned off towards me so that I can buy new RPGs. It works. The Stars Without Numbers version that I have linked for all of you is completely free. Anyone can buy it. It has all of the rules. Several parts revolving around like AIs and game mastery have been removed. It's otherwise a completely functional game. Kevin Crawford, the author, wrote it that way. Just to give him a quick shout out, Kevin is amazing. What he does is, before he goes to sell his product, he completely finishes the entire game. Then he kickstarts it, uses the Kickstarter money to cover production, and after he's made back enough money to cover his production costs, he then makes a free version of the game for anybody that wants to play it.
Wow. And he answers all kinds of questions on Reddit.
Oh yeah, constantly. And on Twitter as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Real MVP.
So, yeah, Kevin Crawford. The Stars Without Numbers base system can be used to play in a number of different settings. Africana, fantasy, Cthulhu, horror, science, fantasy, and that's where we're finding ourselves tonight. Science, fantasy. So before I go too much more into the system, I would like to toss it to the other people here, so maybe you can get to learn and know about them. Connor, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, I'm a comic book artist and Twitch streamer. You can find me at twitch.tv/conorhughes, and I'm frequently curmudgeonly working through my books. Currently working on something new that I can't say what it is, but very excited to be working on it. And otherwise, but the other comic that we had normally feature in the channel is a comic called White Ash that we kickstarted, where you just did the first volume, which is the first 4 issues collected. And that went really well, and we're very happy with that. Yeah, so check me out on there and other places, like my website, Twitter, Instagram, those kinds of places. But yeah, very excited to be here. Checking out some sci-fi. Been watching a little bit of Outlaw Star and Dune, and I plan on watching at some point Starship Troopers again, just to sort of get into the vibe.
You need to watch Starship Troopers 1, 2, and 3, then the animated series, and the animated movie that wraps up all of the regular movies.
There's an animated movie? What kind of animation?
It's actually pretty good. It's 3D CGI. It's not bad, man. It's not bad.
Okay.
Let me tell you, if you want bad, you should watch Starship Troopers, the animated series. I remember as a kid thinking that it was amazing and awesome. I have it sitting on my DVD shelf behind me. It is fucking straight up garbage. Really bad. Really bad.
I mean, the sequels to Starship Troopers didn't look that. I mean, I looked
Starship Troopers 2 is truly awful and not in a great way. Starship Troopers 3 is if Starship Troopers had a sequel that was as hammy as it was, full of camp.
Huh. Well, the camp at least was a selling point.
You saw that music video? Duty, courage, honor. So good.
At least it's cohesive, right?
That was bad.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Amazingly bad.
I'm basing the Confederacy off of that whole music video.
Are they going to be religious zealots too?
Be cool, Confederate. Obedience is awesome.
Just major tool bags.
Would
Okay.
you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Check mark? Yes.
You know that's Timothy Oldmanson, the guy who plays Detective Lassiter on Monk, is the psychic in the psychic advertisement where he's like, "Do you think you're psychic? Maybe you are."
I was actually just remembering him yesterday because of that. What was that old movie where he was a leprechaun and he got sent to the Lake Erie? You don't remember that?
No.
What's his name again?
Timothy Omenson.
I thought we were talking about Lassiter, John Lassiter.
Yeah.
Lassiter, Detective Lassiter from Monk.
Right.
His actor is Timothy Omenson.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I thought because I was looking at the.
He's the bad guy in Gallivant. Look, I guess technically he's the good guy in Gallivant.
It was called The Luck of the Irish. It was like an old like 2001 movie where he plays like this leprechaun guy. It was pretty hilarious.
Okay, all right.
Watch it. It's terrible.
All right, he played Jorgen in Knights of the Old Republic for Coder fans out there.
Oh yeah.
Also,
okay.
also the king.
Oops. Sorry.
Look at this motherfucker just start. Look, I want to tell you guys, Shep is so excited to make a character tonight. He already made a character tonight. He sent it to me and I was like, what are you going to do during the show, man? He's like, oh, I'll just make another character. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we'll just see. This one's going to be a total random thing. So the other one was a designed character. This one will be all random, and we'll see what happens.
Maybe you let the chat decide for you.
You know,
True.
Connor, it's still
I like
your
that
intro.
idea.
Let's jump back to that.
Wait, sorry. What was that?
It's your intro still. We just interrupted it with random bullshit.
I'll pass it on. I'll pass it on. What's going on, Shep? You're drawing tonight. So
I am going to be drawing tonight, but not this mind flayer. This is just eye candy for
Just
right
fucking
now.
beautiful mind flayer, man.
yeah.
Thank you.
right.
Hey, maybe I could be a mind flayer in this game.
No.
No aliens?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm Rob.
Oh, there's
Shepard.
got to be. Look, we can't Starship Troopers without aliens. I'm just not going to let you play one.
That's fair. That's good. I like human characters anyway. Or
I
humanoids.
mean, humans are all right. They're mostly assholes.
So I'm robSHEPart. You can find me as robSHEPart everywhere. So I draw D&D characters, monsters, commissions, that kind of stuff. I do it on Twitch. A lot of you guys are seeing us on Twitch, but if you're on YouTube, go check out my channel on Twitch. Come say hello. Bearded, over to you.
What's up, guys? My name is Ricardo Lima, also known as Bearded Jalapno on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and that's it. Freelance artist, currently full up on commissions, thanks to some amazing people. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the next 2 months. What about you, Cotton?
I am Cotton. I doodle and stuff on occasion. I have a Twitter if you want to follow me on there. It's Cotton_tailed, I think. And that's it.
It is, in fact, Cotton_tailed. I had to go double check today when I was making the overlay. I briefly considered not updating the overlay and just sticking your face in the McComicer spot because I wouldn't know who your characters were until next week. But I thought maybe for some people this would be their first episode and they'd be really confused. I also want to give a shout out to Cotton's mom and, in fact, all the members of Cotton's family that watch the show occasionally. it is their misfortune to spend time with us. As far as I can tell from what Cotton has implied to me, they only watch the intros of the show. What a mistake. Literally the worst part of the show.
My mom and my dad would argue that it's one of the best parts.
Okay. All right. Well, it is also the time where I swear the most. So, what's happening here? Is this mind flare suddenly becoming less drawn?
It's disappearing.
I don't know what's happening.
Clearing things off. Gonna draw something else.
It's like that makeup removal thing on YouTube where people take off their makeup.
Yeah.
Look, I need to keep my makeup on at this point, man. Why are you trying to take it off me? I'm still trying to deal with this light shininess bullshit, and my face is still like a brilliant red. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, man.
You know, you can change at least on OBS, you can change the color filter.
Right, but that'll just make my face a different color, not less shiny. It'll still be shiny in a different color.
You could lower the contrast.
You know what? Maybe. You could lower the contrast. What would work better is if these lights would stop being 1,000,000 degrees, because I'm feeling hot-blooded.
Why don't you want to change the lights?
Because they're really, really good lights.
Okay.
I invested a large amount of Patreon dollars into getting this lighting system. It's actually 2 different lighting systems working in coordination.
Are you using a diffuser or is it hot lighting?
They came with boxes.
Yeah.
Diffuse it. Yep.
Well, so they shouldn't be too shiny then.
Might be just
and
too
yet,
close.
Here we are.
And this is with a foundation in order to help break that up. Why is that funny to you guys, man? You know what? I'll admit, I probably would have laughed 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, before I started using makeup. But now, I have to use makeup. That's where I'm at.
I'm sure people would wish I used makeup on my stream, but
We do.
I have not.
I can
that.
barely see anything. You put this giant ass sift thing in front of you that's shifting colors. 1/4 of your face is obscured by it.
Oh yeah, I'll show you guys that.
Why would you? I just told you about how bad it looks. You're literally like, let's get that on screen right now. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
It's better than my face, you know.
No, you gotta move it to your left about 2 inches. No, that's too far.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's far enough. You're right there, right in camera.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the problem. You have no patience, Connor. So you're like watching the footage and you don't realize that it's 10 seconds into the future. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna move it here. No, oh, okay, yeah. We'll be doing this all night.
I'm watching the Zoom though, so I'm not watching.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, but with Zoom, you don't know where it's gonna end up on the stream camera. You just know where it's gonna end up on your camera.
That's true. Yeah, you can't. You probably can't see it right now, can you?
We can see 1/4 of the ring.
Okay.
That right there,
That's
that
the
is
worst.
like a few centimeters from dead center. Just don't touch it. If you want your face to be illuminated by red neon, just leave it right there.
Can you have any more lights in your room facing us? Is that possible?
Well, I mean, they don't see the bright light that's behind there. That's not on the.
Good. They shouldn't be looking at your rear light. That the whole point of the rear light is to not be seen. It's to backlight you.
Kind of like the set of Star Trek, the first movie. And you got all the lens flares everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what your cameras do.
That's what I love. I love that.
Everybody loves a good lens flare.
Yeah.
All right. So before we make characters, I would like to lock in what type of universe and what type of characters we're looking at, because things have changed a couple times since we last talked about this. Now, I have created the Bear and Moose sector, but if you don't like it, I'm perfectly willing to throw it out and make something new. Has everyone had a chance to look at that document?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
For
I'll take
people
it
on
as is.
YouTube, you should be able to take a look at it. It's in the description section. Bear and Moo.
My one question is, how can something as cute as Cabots be coming out of such a negative
Negative.
world? Well,
Negative.
A global hive mind sounds terrible, right?
Why does that
Why
sound
was it
terrible? It sounds like
Not
you have
always
some
bad,
preconceptions. It's human global hive mind.
Are
They're
you
just
racist?
It's
Yeah.
like the internet.
I mean, they're
It's
also
like-
eugenicists. I mean, that's not normally.
They are geneticists, not
Oh.
eugenicists.
It says here, skilled eugenicists.
Well, all right. Well, I might have meant to put geneticist, not eugenicists.
Okay, so
Eugenicist.
I've got global hive mind and eugenicists. I mean, what? How am I supposed to interpret this in a positive manner?
Replace
now you're
eugenicist
describing the
with
uni-
geneticists.
Well, I mean, I went based on what was in the
His
paper,
autocorrect's fucked up. Okay, Connor. Give him a break.
not in your head.
All right. Look, they're not bad people. They're just a low technology world. They're pre-20th century, pre-automatic firearms.
Wait, and they're also geneticists?
Yeah. There were geneticists in the late 1800s, Connor.
I didn't know that.
They weren't all wooden.
There were
teeth.
geneticists for hundreds of years, man.
Okay.
There were
You
people.
talking about breeding dogs?
Connor, I'm about to rock your world, brother. There were
Okay.
people that were like, by bringing the Africans over, only natural selection will allow the best of them to continue to work on the plantations. Thus, the strongest will prevail. Yeah, Connor, there was
a
some
different
really
idea.
messed up eugenics stuff going on. People justified everything post-Darwin.
So you're really convincing me that this place is a great place?
It is a great place, Connor. They make cabbits. They're wonderful cat, dog, rabbit hybrids that can be genetically altered to fit they're loyal companions. They love humans. You can mate them with other cabbits, and they become a combination of their parents' fur color and pattern.
But they're also...
You can get DLC food pellets to make them grow faster or slower or change their colorations.
I was sold at Cabot's.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Cotton knows what's down. Cabots. You believe that people who could create a species as great as cabots would be capable of being evil? You're wrong, Connor. They're a global hive mind, but they're not bad. They're just different, and I'm tired of your racism.
Planet Alzu did nothing wrong. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Planet Alzu produced the finest chancellor that has ever been known to space and helped forge a foundation of universal harmony. Okay?
He's also a ruthless Darwinist. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something about Charles Darwin. You ready for this? Charles Darwin ate every species he ever encountered.
Okay.
You're laughing, but that motherfucker wanted to know what that animal tasted like.
It's important to know.
He found it, he observed
science.
it, he dissected it after drawing it, and then he fucking ate it.
So you're saying that he was a cannibalist?
He would have to eat humans to be a cannibal, Connor.
Yeah. Yeah. And humans are a species. And you were saying he ate every
He
human-
didn't
every
find new
species.
humans in the Galapagos Islands. He found birds and Komodo dragons and shit.
I mean, he didn't
Jesus.
find humans in his life. So, but okay. Fine.
The
Hey,
Voyage of the
there's one
Beagle,
thing-
they didn't find new groups of humans and then eat them, Connor Hughes. They found new birds and lizards and ate that much shit, okay?
I mean, those turtles were delicious. Let's be real here.
Have you ever ate a turtle? How would you know?
No, but I mean, all the sailors ate all the turtles. That's why they all got wiped out immediately, right? Because they were giant, slow, and delicious.
Wish lobsters would get wiped
I like
out.
when Connor talks and then AP gets all like, "Let me tell you something, Connor," and then he's all like, "No, I'm right."
Listen, Connor. That's my go-to
When you
line.
get people that
That's
like
my
debating,
second favorite part of the show.
when people like to debate, it can be a fun time. So
Hey,
Well,
I want to
too
know
many-
what,
too many
I wanna know
comments.
what knife balls are.
All right. So I ran another Stars Without Numbers revised campaign called Sons of Gold, which is based off of the Sons of Gold supplement book for original Stars Without Numbers. It's a merchant campaign. Knife balls are a small rubber ball, and when they impact against a hard surface, a knife comes out randomly in one of the 360 by 360 degree locations. This could
Random.
mean if you catch a knife ball, that a knife will go through your hand. They were considered, like racquetball, like a cool, dangerous way to spice up the sport. They were banned and made completely illegal, and in the first episode, the players decided that they were going to smuggle knife balls. Thus, Somehow, despite my every effort to get rid of them, a single knife ball managed to cross the void of space with them and go to an entirely different section of the galaxy.
Oh my god.
The knife ball became the mascot of the show. Someone made a GIF that will randomly display which direction the knife comes out of the ball.
Nice.
Fucking wild, man. People really love these knife balls. They're so dumb.
Are they like baseball size?
It's smaller than a baseball. It's racquetball.
Yeah, it's a knife ball, you know? You gotta be able to
fit in your hand. Baseball, but bigger than a ping pong.
Yeah, that sounds exact. Knife balls. Everybody loves them. I don't get it. Knife balls are the Cabots of
this campaign.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about this show. Right? Oh, you're trying a knife ball.
You're trying a knife ball, yeah.
I did. It's first impression, yeah.
When you think about what you guys want to play through this campaign, let's talk about genre. Let's talk about what you want to do. Let's talk about what types of fiction you relate this campaign to. You know, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Who wrote the soundtrack and what does it sound like? Because there's some great sci-fi that has some great soundtracks, and then there's some medium sci-fi that has no good soundtrack, like Blade Runner.
So
you
like
have a great
Treasure Planet meets Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star, of course, is already on my list.
Treasure Planet.
I've never seen Treasure Planet.
I've never seen Treasure Planet either. I'll have to watch it.
Treasure Planet's great.
Okay. I mean, I have written here Mass Effect, Star Trek, Star Wars, Starship Troopers, The Expanse, Guardians of the Galaxy, mech suits, mechanics, robotics, psionics. This is what I have to work with here.
I imagine Planet Alzu is like Brazil, the movie.
I don't know what Brazil the movie is.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, okay.
No.
It's a good one.
Never heard of it.
No? You guys got check it out.
I am not a Stargate fan. Sorry, Stargate fans out there. Atlantis is the only good one. I guess Universe is great as long as the weird doctor guy was doing shit, and then whenever he wasn't in charge and when he wasn't on screen, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I want to see different planets.
The soundtrack was really, really bad.
Like walking around the markets and see what's up with the common folk. I'm also a robot, so I like to learn things about other cultures, because I don't know shit.
So, learning stuff and hanging out with normies.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. What about the rest of you? You know, we got
I
a lot
want
of...
to have a cabot.
You want to have a cabot. Okay, so, like, let me ask. You can have a cabot, but is the caretaking of this cabot an important part of the plot? Like, do we hear about this cabot every episode? Is it the knife ball? Or is it we talk about you have a cabot and then we never see it again? You just, you know, want to have a cabot to have a cabot.
I want to have a cabot. I don't know if it's important to the plot because I don't want to put that pressure on everybody else.
I mean, this is your plot, you know? You go back to the ship, you go back to home base, you go back to your apartment, and there's a cabot, and you talk about how much you love your cabot, and maybe take your cabot out on cabot walks, see other cabots, and if you see a cabot that's of a nice color with a good pattern to its fur, you think, maybe we can mate these cabots. Let's become friends, you know? We'll go on a cabot date together. Suddenly, you know, your character's in a long-term relationship with somebody, sitting down to have coffee twice a month.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty fun.
All right, so cabots will be a major plot point.
Yes.
Cabots. I'm gonna want to know what your cabot looks like, and what color it is, and the fur coloration it's got going on.
Right now?
No, but eventually.
Okay.
Yes, right now. You must tell me everything about the cabot.
She probably could, let's be honest.
I could just wing it.
Yeah.
I think we've all gravitated towards the cabots. They need to be a thing.
Wow. Okay. Literally one line about cabots, and now they're...
I've been talking about it since day one.
Knife balls, man. This is how knife balls get started. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to surrender my character to the hive mind just so I could have a cabot.
You don't have... They're a commercial item. People just buy cabots everywhere.
I just wanted to make sure. I mean, I would have done the sacrifice if I had to have it. Sacrifice
to the hive mind? They're a hive mind. They don't. Just one person with the cabot makes the whole hive mind happy, because whenever they want to, they can just drop in and be like, "How's that cabot doing?" Oh, that's a good cabot right there. They make cabots to sell to other planets to make them happy.
So I
And
see I wasn't
also
the only
money.
one that had an nefarious interpretation of
He's
this.
just showing you her dedication to the cabot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
cabot
that's good.
ways. As you know, before the end of the show, we'll find out that cabots can turn into starships.
Yes. Tenchi Muyo.
Yep, Tetsuya.
Put that on the list.
No, not even close.
Is Tenchi Muyo the big fluffy jewel cat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that turns into a starship. It's also the
That's
one where every member of his harem is related to him by blood.
That's weird.
That's-
I remember
Yeah,
watching it as
yes,
a
it
kid,
is really weird.
but I had no idea. I couldn't remember what it's called.
It's not just weird. He goes back in time and dates his mom in one of the movies. So
Yeah.
All right.
Tenchi Muyo
That's-
is not an influence I want to
I
have.
meant more like the good parts about that show.
There were good parts of Tenchi
Cabot. Cabot.
Muyo.
Cabots.
But I just created
Animals turning
cabots.
into starships.
All right. Connor, what do you got for me? I mean, you talk about Starship Troopers and you're like, I want to be in the trenches. What does that mean? Do you want this to be...
I mentioned it, but I think.
Do you want this to be a military campaign? Are you guys like mercenaries? What are you people even doing here beyond raising cabots and eating food? We can have, don't get me wrong, we can have a whole campaign that's just 4 jackasses wandering around looking for jobs, going to food stands, just being like, good commissar, I wish to try your takinoko. Look at this taiyaki fish. These
So
different
basically
cultures.
our D&D
We could do
campaign.
that. We could do that. We could do a cabot raising. We got 3 months though. 2.5 to 3 months. You might want to consider wisely what you want to spend your time
Gotta
doing.
get that shiny cabot at the end.
Oh yeah, of course, the gold
The
cabot.
gold, the gold cabot.
Oh yeah,
Shiny Magikarp.
Or I was thinking the golden golden chocobo. Spend like 70 hours on that.
Oh my god. I was just thinking about Chocobo racing from Final Fantasy VII this morning.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good.
And the
part of that game.
snowboarding minigame and the submarine minigame, I was like, man, I spent way too long getting gold Chocobo just so I could fly over and get Knights of the Round.
But did you? That was like my
Yeah,
summer.
twice. I did it on the PlayStation and on PC.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like dedication.
And let me tell you something. I have a 7th tier Chocobo on Final Fantasy 14 because it also has Chocobo racing and raising.
Yep.
That means nothing to me. But
It's
It
pretty
is the
awesome.
system from Final Fantasy 7, but better.
But better, yeah.
Much
And
better.
you can change the color of your chocobo. And you can
Yeah,
change
my
the
my
art.
Chocobo is like a kind of orange blue right now.
Nice.
But it was like yellow, then it went like black and a whole bunch of different colors. Every time I made it, it was somebody else's Chocobo. It changed colors, and I was, I didn't really care about the color. I just cared about the fact that it was becoming swole. My Chocobo is a huge chalky dude that moves at maximum speed.
Nice.
that was good.
He does not turn well though. His turning radius is
I would
super
imagine
not
not.
great. It's
He's a-
fine. I just have to like set myself up for moves ahead of time. But yeah, his
Race
turn.
car.
Race cars turn better than this thing, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, it is a slow turning bird.
NASCAR turns better than this bird.
I mean, NASCAR cars can turn, man. They,
Yeah,
they,
they can turn.
can make
I
a
was
good
thinking
turn.
like drag racing. What's the kind of racing where they just go a straight line?
Yeah, that's
drag
drag racing.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, there's a poll going on right now for which one's better, knife balls or cabots.
I'm voting for cabots. So
We have no
get wrecked,
time
my
for the
falls.
cabots. I mean, we got to develop the idea. Yeah.
The idea is already there. It's in the.
I
hive
already
mind.
developed the idea, Connor. I wrote about it. I wrote about the DLC system so that you can spend more money for Planet Alzu. You got to get that proprietary money, man.
The pay-to-play system, Connor.
Yeah, Connor, don't you want your cabot to succeed in life?
It's this universe's Pusheen.
Buy it a sweater.
So tell me about I want to be in the trenches, Connor. Because if you,
I mean, I didn't go that far, really.
Okay,
I
all right.
I was sort of talking about Mass Effect.
which Mass Effect? Because Mass Effect 3 literally has you crawling over trenches for half the game. Mass Effect 1 has you going and hanging out on cool planets and picking up alien chicks.
Yeah, I'd say Mass Effect 1.
I think he meant like the trenches, as in like the gutter outside of a bar.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna be that last episode of Battlestar Galactica where Adama pukes on himself outside a bar, and he's like, "This is the lowest point of my life."
Yep, that's where Connor starts.
But he already did that. That's Cazador.
Like Cazador. I'll tell you that much.
Everybody immediately gravitated to Cazador. That's the best part. He's so locked in.
He's gonna be young and energetic and hopeful. He's gonna be nothing like Cazador. Cazador is the opposite. So yeah, I mean, Firefly would be a great place to go
Firefly, yeah.
I think Outlaw Star is a great jumping point too. I like the.
I actually heard of Firefly, so that one.
Okay, yeah. Gene Starwind is a lot like Mal.
Wait, did you just say you've never seen Firefly?
No, I said I've actually heard of that one. All this other stuff you guys talk about, it's all foreign stuff. So
yeah,
I realized I watch zero sci-fi.
That's fine. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you bring up Firefly, I really have to question how much you recognize that show is, because the main characters of that show are the bad guys. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, they're cool rebellious heroes," and I'm like, "No, they're murderous criminals that start a war in the movie."
I don't remember the movie well enough to like conflict.
At the end of the movie, they send out the broadcast to kick off a civil war.
I mean,
It's a
do
TV
they? Maybe it was going to happen. It's going to happen.
They're letting the people know what's up.
Yeah, they got to know about the secret. The whole point is that the main.
Like we were talking about earlier, chaos into law. Law is
Right.
Don't spit Sifu and Buddhist learnings back at me.
He brought peace to the universe.
I didn't even hit Connor with any of Zeno's paradoxes, which will blow your fucking mind. Let me tell. Okay, you know what, Connor? Let's do this live on stream.
All right.
Imagine a arrow target, and you have a bow.
Okay.
Okay, you fire the bow. The arrow is in the air. Halfway to the target, the arrow stops. Okay? You agree that the arrow can move from your bow to the target, yes?
I mean, depends on how far the target is. Yeah, sure.
But you agree that movement is capable from the bow to the target.
Assuming the bow
Motion is
working
possible.
and the arrow doesn't have a sledgehammer on the end of it. Yeah.
Correct. All right. Let me ask you something. There's a halfway point between those two, correct?
Between the bow and the target, yes.
Yes. Okay. So now that it's moved halfway, there's a new halfway point between its new location and the target, correct?
Yeah.
And from the new location, there's a halfway point between that and the target, correct?
Yeah.
So you agree that there are an infinite number of halfway points that continuously get smaller as it moves towards the target.
It's true.
If that's true, and infinity extends onwardly, it will never hit the target. Doesn't that imply that all motion is impossible?
No, not at all.
Doesn't it, though? Think about it for a moment.
No. Just because you're measuring smaller and smaller distances, eventually the.
But if there's an infinite number of distances to cover that have an infinite number of halves, you can never reach infinity, Connor. That's the whole point of infinity.
There's not an infinite number of distances, though. There's just
aren't there? Because you can get infinitely smaller.
You can't get infinitely smaller because the arrow.
Really? Why not?
Because the arrow hits the target, and then at that point,
does it though? Does it? See, the problem is you're not applying this philosophically. You're saying the arrow will hit the target. You are basing your action on the assumption the arrow will hit the target, but we know mathematically it never will hit the target.
You're also making the assumption that the arrow won't hit the target.
The arrow can't hit the target.
Why not?
In Zeno's paradox, it's assumed that motion is impossible and that time has no relevance.
Well, I mean, I suppose we have all of
reality. The mathematical answer to your question is called calculus. Sir Isaac Newton helped invent it. And that is infinite series being taken over their whole. However, that doesn't discount, Connor, the fact that even if we can reach a conclusion mathematically, visually, you can see that an infinite number beginning infinitely small will never happen.
unless you actually hit the target, at which point 0.
But it
is
won't hit the
it's
target
constant.
because an infinite number of these sequences must occur.
Zonalar has a point in that distance doesn't matter as long as you focus on your goal, which is
Exactly.
Connor. What is your character?
Exactly.
Wait. I need to ask Shep. You know, you say you don't watch a lot of sci-fi, and that's perfectly fine. What do you want your character to do then? Are you a hard-bitten detective? Or, I mean, you show me some sort of like half psionic cyber monk that's a pacifist. I don't know what they do. What do you want to do?
I want to be, well, I like anything where there's plenty of encounters and alien, or not so much alien, but mysteries to, solve out.
Mystery solving. Interesting.
Yeah.
Conspiracy uncovering. What do you say, Shep, to that?
So, I mean, how big are these mysteries and conspiracies you're uncovering? Are we talking you're looking for somebody's cabot that's been stolen? Are you guys like private detectives? Or are you like, we need to find the origin of the scream that wiped out all psychics and set human evolution back 700 years?
See, now that sounds interesting.
So you're thinking
big picture.
you're thinking that you are like some sort of detective scientist that is looking to why? Let me ask you a question. Why do you care? Why do you pursue these things?
I think when you can learn the secrets of things, you can kind of learn how to go forward with them. Because if the scream, from what I remember of what you were telling me about the scream, why wouldn't they be afraid that the scream could happen again?
They are afraid the scream could happen again. That's why psychics are treated like shit.
So by learning the origin of the scream, perhaps they can figure a way to prevent it or to save the universe.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking if we can understand what has happened, we can control it and prevent it from happening again, and thus build ourselves past the point that we once were.
Perhaps, yep.
Okay. All right. So your character's an idealist.
I will take that.
All right. I don't know what the rest of the characters are like. We'll find that out in a couple of minutes, but maybe they aren't as ideal as you. It sounds like Cotton's character's pretty attached to her cabot. Maybe she's an idealist. I don't know, though, because Cotton is normally pretty idealistic and upbeat, but then she was like, I would like to play a edgy edgelord drama murderer on the Battletech show. And then she's just like, life is pain. I paint everything. I paint my mech. I paint the base. I paint my face. I got a 30 on my roll, and we only rolled 2d6s, so the fact I got a 30 was amazing. Yeah, that happened.
That sounds like the way to go.
So in Battletech, if you roll 2d6 and you get 12, you keep rolling 6s until you stop getting 6s.
What?
So Cotton rolled like 3 more 6s.
Wow.
It was fucking wild.
That's
what's called a Shadowrun. When you roll 5 6s in a row, it's an automatic success in Shadowrun.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. No matter what you were doing, like even if you were just trying to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I used my incredible roll to paint a temporary base that we were going to leave like in 2 more episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably going to be turned into like a cultural heritage site. It's a secret base that everyone knows about, so its worth is now 0. It has no valuation.
It's like Burning Man.
What? No, it's nothing like Burning Man. Burning Man, is it a secret base? All right. Let's talk about characters, okay? Let's talk about the framework of our characters. Overall, top level, this might not be what we end up with, all right? Because when we get down to roll stuff, it'll be random. But basic idea. This doesn't have to involve a character class, doesn't have to involve background or skills. What are you thinking? Connor, I'm going to toss it to you because you look like you're busy.
I'm thinking my character is going to be a psychic, and they're going to be young. And I mean, I know you didn't say character class, but I'm just using that as a baseline.
No, I didn't say you couldn't do character class. I'm just saying it doesn't need to involve it. You just tell me how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
Just
going to
do what you
roll with
want.
this idea of
Sure.
escaping with the AI, I think that could be a fun way to go.
Figure that out. We'll
figure
figure
that
out how illegal this AI is.
But I think, I think this character is a little bit more chaotic, trying to find their path, but not too sure about where they're going.
You don't think it's weird that you're looking for your path and you joined an organization set on finding the greater mysteries of the universe?
I mean, I think that's a fortunate coincidence.
Interesting.
So
I would love if Connor's character was somehow like a gutter philosopher. Connor just looks up Buddhist quotes every week and then drops one and just tries to act like really knowledgeable. Like I was doing earlier.
Yeah.
I think,
Connor's character's like, hey guys, you hear about Zeno's paradox? Let me explain it to you badly.
Bullshit. The arrow hits the target every time.
the arrow hits the target every time. He's a pragmatist. I mean, I think he's a bit young, but he might look it up on the Wiki Interstellar WikiNet. And
so I want to point this out. In Stars Is Not Numbers, all of the planets are like Age of Sail. It takes at a minimum 7 days to travel. Well, there are ways to get around it, but most travel takes 7 days to move 1 hex. And there's no interstellar communication. Everything has to be uploaded to an outgoing ship and then offloaded when it arrives.
Right. Yeah.
So the internets are all planetary wide.
Right.
It also makes banking a nightmare.
Just need that Bitcoin, man.
That is no. That's not how Bitcoin works.
It's not, but they're coming out with that. They're coming out with a microtransaction mechanism or
That
something.
will not solve the problem of spending money in one location, then flying to another location and spending the same pile of money.
Well, the planets also have there's a galaxy-wide internet, right?
No.
No?
There's
So
no
the
communication between planets.
There's just communication between planets, but there's nothing no unifying force that communicates galaxies between galaxies.
Nope.
No.
Okay. So
Nothing between planets, nothing between sectors, nothing between galaxies.
Nothing to hear you scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ship captains, therefore, are extremely important because they bring the news.
Yeah.
They're also dangerous because if a new ship captain shows up in a new ship, you don't know their reputation. Who is this person? Could they fly out to an asteroid belt, kick a rock, and send it flying towards the planet? Starship Trooper style? The Arachnids wiped out Buenos Aires, 1.5 million dead and rising. That could happen to you if there's a bad ship captain out there, like an evil villainous captain, right? So everything is suspicious. You got to know what you got to know. Information gathering is very important.
Yeah. It's kind of like Age of Discovery / the Wild West.
Wild West is a very good. I mean, Wild West and Samurai heavily influenced the aesthetic of Star Wars.
Right. Yeah. I was just watching High and Low, which is another movie by Kurosawa. But yeah. Okay. You want me to go on with my character there, or are we gonna?
Well, I mean, do you have anything else you want to top level throw at me about him?
I think this character is going to be a bit more of a blank slate than Kazdor. Kazdor's got all kinds of baggage.
Yeah, Kazdor has a ton of baggage.
Kazdor has more baggage than I see in most characters.
Going on vacation.
I'm going to play a character here that's going to have a little less baggage. And
Well, they're young and they're searching for their path. They haven't
Right.
made Kazdor's mistakes yet, like
yeah.
unleashing a drow rebellion against the surface. And
What? I didn't know that's what
How's that?
Kazdor is doing.
what do you think Clan Shadowspinner's doing, man? They're wiping everybody out on their way up to the surface.
I mean, Kaz didn't.
You want to
do
talk
that.
about eugenesis? Let me tell you about the drow and their fangs.
Yeah, and their fangs. Right. How do you think they got those fangs? Wasn't natural. No?
Called shipping.
But shipping. Shipping is completely natural.
Until it's with demons.
Shep, you're number 2 on my list here. What do you got for me? What kind of? Oh, you're going for a random character that chat is going to help you decide, right? And then you're going to pick between your psychic, pacifist, monk, cyber operative, and this new character.
Yeah. We'll see what happens randomly or through chat. That's cool.
I'm not trying to box you into that. I'm just repeating what you've said to me. If that's not
Absolutely. No, I'm totally game with that. I think it's cool.
Chat, type 1 if you want him to play a Cabot.
No, he's not playing a Cabot.
Yeah.
If you type 1, you're going to get banned. Conorhughes, I'm sorry. Been removed from this channel forever. You've lost Jeopardy. I'm
It
sorry.
was a good run, Connor.
Cotton.
We all knew this is how it was going to end.
Let me ask you about your character, Cotton. What are we thinking? High level. I have mechanic. That's all I have from you.
Yeah, I want to make a kid mechanic with
Okay.
pink hair.
Mechanic.
And
Pink hair.
then when
We
you were
already got
talking
colors.
about the ship captains just landing on planets, we don't know anything about them and stuff like that. I thought it would have been fun for the first crew that she joined was actually a group of mercenaries, but she has no idea they're mercenaries. She thinks they're nice people. She's since left that group though.
Okay, so you were part of the stereotypical Treasure Island person shows up, joins a ship crew, doesn't realize that they're secretly pirates, get left off at some point. Everybody feels kind of bad for you.
I have read that book. That's exactly what I was going with.
Okay, all right. She's the Jim Starwind. No, Jim Hawking of Starwind and Hawking Enterprises.
She now thinks that super shady stuff is totally normal.
I can't wait to see you interact with the rest of the cast on that one. You mean you're not supposed to pay the inspectors several dozen credits to look the other way? I thought that was totally normal. You know, we were jumped by those guys back there, but we left their bodies sitting out. Don't we normally drag them to an incinerator after removing their wallets? I thought that was normal.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
You know, speaking of Starwind and Hawking Enterprises, let's talk to the robot of the group.
Yeah.
All right, Gilliam, what do you got for me? You're still set on playing a true AI, correct?
Yep.
All
I was
right.
debating whether or not I wanted to do an old AI or a new AI. And I think with the composition of the group, I thought I'm going to do a new AI.
Okay, so if you're a new AI, that means you have to come from a specific planet, the Mondra system, planet Polos. So you've been built in the last 40 years. So let me ask, how old are you?
10, 15 years.
Okay. What is the primary directive that you believe that you have as an AI? That one overarching thing that your whole personality is based around?
To find uncharted planets within the universe.
Find uncharted planets. So your whole personality is based around that.
Fossil fuels, yeah.
You have been what's called limited. You have limiters that prevent you from thinking too quickly, from thinking about certain topics. It prevents you from learning at speeds that would be too great for your processor to handle and would cause you to go insane.
Got it.
Do you desire to have those limiters removed? I mean, humans made you. What if they made you wrong?
Yeah.
What if your limiters, you know, just a little bit, just let it open a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Do you ever desire that kind of stuff? You
Yes.
ever look for someone that tries to tinker with your limiters?
Yes.
Okay, so you desire unshackling.
Or perhaps someone that's foolish enough to be convinced to do it.
So, yeah. How long have you been looking for unshackling, and how public are you about it? Like, do you keep it secret? Or
Within the past year or so.
okay, so it's relatively new desire to become unshackled. I actually don't remember, but clearly I'm pretty sure true AIs that get unshackled might even have their own separate leveling system or something like that. Let me look here. True AI PCs.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So, yeah, I don't know. I have several questions about this. Have you looked at routines yet, or are we gonna have to? You have?
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
All right, yeah, we'll have to do that during character creation. What kind of chassis do you have? Right, like do you have a human flesh chassis that you just have like a robotic skeleton over it, or are you fully roboticized?
It's probably fully roboticized except for the face, which is slightly more human looking. It has like an actual face instead of just like a big eyeball.
Oh my god, it sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
To have like a fully robotic body and just have like a human face on it. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
She's slowly tinkering with getting new parts replaced and being more human.
Interesting.
But for the most part, she keeps herself pretty well dressed, like lots of layers of clothing and like a hood over her so that people can't see the rest of her.
All right. Probably have some other philosophical questions, but the last most important one I think is, are you a member of the Imago Dei? So in Stars Without Numbers, AIs created a religion based on the fact that if God's created humans and humans worship God, humans created these AIs, so they view humans as being gods to them and worship humanity. And by default, that means they also worship the human god and seek better understanding. They formed a kind of neo-Buddhist Catholic mix-up that was approved by the Terran Mandate, the super government that used to run all of humanity. And they became these like paladin, warrior, badass priests that would show up to places and be like, well, what's up? We've got these giant armored gunships. The gunship is an AI. We're AIs. We're here to like get you off of your roof and out of this flooding. We're here to stop the rebellion and bring peace and order to the galaxy. We're here to like throw ourselves into a fight to protect all humans. We're here to wipe out aliens because they're not humans.
I don't think that she's been in the world long enough to fully investigate or learn about that, so probably not.
Okay, much. You're not a deist then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's start making characters then. I'm going to say pages. Folks at home, they might not match up with your pages because I have the deluxe edition of the revised, and it's not the free edition, and it's the Kickstarter version, so it might not perfectly match up. But let's turn to page 4, which is like page 8 in the book, and start with rolling up our 6 attributes. Everybody's going to roll 3d6 6 times. And you get to assign those scores as you wish to your character's stuff. Yee, it's about to get real. Who's going to be quickest on the draw with 6 3d6s? I heard a double beep. Bearded Jalapeno rolls an 11 for the first one. You can just hit up enter. And it'll keep re-rolling.
How many times do I need to do that?
6. So you got 4 more.
3, 4, 5, 6.
That is a pretty good set of rules. 11, 9, 15, 14, 15, 7.
Wow.
Some of those are junk ass though. Complete garbage.
It's called character building, okay?
That
So
isn't bad.
the 7 is a -1,
pretty
the
bad,
9 and the 11 are 0, and the 14 and the 15s are +1.
Yeah, that's a great roll.
I'll take a +0 any day. Because you could be like Runa and roll a -2.
Junk ass -1 is what's going to be wrecking you, right? Where are my boys at? Where's everybody at? Here we go. We got some rolls. Cotton's first roll is a 4. That's very low. That's very low and very bad. Your rolls are bad. Your rolls are bad, Cotton.
So I don't think you know this, since I've never played a character where I had to roll my stats for you.
-1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1.
In my real life game, I'm notorious for rolling absolutely horrible stats.
You can change 1 to 14 though, right?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but you will be able to change a stat for your main whatever based on which class you pick. So one of your stats will definitely get a boost.
Yeah, and then I think with the choosing your background and all that stuff, you can add to your scores if you want. So there's
No, that's fine.
yeah.
See, I usually have bad stats, but I kind of luck out with good rolls, so I'm okay.
I mean, if you roll well, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's the Jeff in control way. As long as you roll nothing but 6s, you're good.
Right.
Yeah,
Saw your power up the last time you rolled those 6s.
that's the Ronald Swan, man. We got Connor with a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You need one more.
0.
Straight
Wow.
zeros all down the board. 8, 9, 9, 12, 12, 9. Connor's just an average man with an average life. He works from 9 to 5.
Was way better.
Japanese salesman.
All right, who are we missing here?
Me. So I said 3d6.
Yep. 3d6, 6 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 1.
I'm the winner.
I might as well be in a wheelchair.
8, 11, 8, 12, 9, 4. All right, next up, you need to assign all of those to whichever stats you would like. But as we're going to alter those stats throughout this, we're not going to figure out what those stats are quite yet.
So we just put them wherever?
Yep.
Put them in the character sheet. You can see it there.
We have these nice, fancy, beautiful blue and black.
Since wisdom is noticing things and making judgments and stuff, I put my 4 there.
Yeah.
I would have cautioned you before you do that. Since you can turn your lowest stat into a much better stat by using the class system. So when you pick a class, you get an automatic 14 in one of the 2 stats attached to it.
Okay, then I'll put my 8 there.
Yeah. Wiping the 4s is a pretty good idea. Next up, once everybody's got their stats assigned, you look at the backgrounds on page 9. You'll get a skill listed at level 0 and some other junk from it. And we choose class later. So anybody got a particular background that they're looking at? I'm seeing.
I was looking at criminal.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel like that matches your character?
Well, in the sense that
Thief,
the
murderer, forger, spy, some form of malefactor, rogue.
No, just sort of a thief, a rogue. I mean, if indeed we're going with this escaping with AI background story, then it would make sense that he sort of smuggles.
Are we going with that story? I didn't hear any of that during your high-level briefing.
No, I mean we didn't. No, I mean that sort of depends on Bearded and myself, right?
I mean, now's the time to make that decision, Connor Hughes. Now's the time to make that decision.
Making decisions is not my strong suit.
I felt that your character was a dilettante. Your hero has never had a profession, strictly speaking, but they've spent their formative years in travel, socializing, and a series of engaging hobbies.
My character?
Yeah, I'm just saying it sounds a little bit like your character, right? Like, what does your character believe in, Connor? I don't know, looking at this character sheet. It says right here that your character's never done anything. They're just looking for their path in life.
Yes. But
I'm not trying to paint you into a box, Connor. If you think that you're a criminal, then put criminal as your background. But I gotta tell you, it will come back to bite you.
I mean,
because you'll be a criminal.
Everything's going to come back to bite him. I mean, he sort of, he sort of had to play it fast and loose in this tough life.
So let me ask then: did you come from Planet Polos, and have you escaped the underwater base where everyone is trapped? You know,
Beardy, you want to do that, or?
Yeah, I'm down for that. I was thinking like a modified worker, so I would be doing like charting and stuff like that, and you could have stumbled on my chip or something and stole it, and a drone that you found somewhere.
Is that how it would work, or unless we're doing like a suitcase scenario, smuggling you out the suitcase? So you didn't? Did you convince me that you wanted to get going, or what?
No, you probably thought you could sell me for a lot of coin.
That's what you told me.
I mean,
your character sounded like they were an idealist. Is the money what? Or was it having a companion that was looking for greater truths in the universe, finding lost things?
Right.
Was that attractive to you?
I don't think my character wants to be a criminal, by the way. It's more like that's just what they're falling into.
I mean, you stole an AI and you left the planet where you're forbidden to leave.
Right.
Let's go with the second one then. That I convinced you to take me aboard or take me wherever it is you were going.
Because there are some people in this planet that interface with the outside world, right, to get news.
No, they send AIs to do that.
Well, okay. I thought that they sent people.
No, it literally says there's been no contact with the humans there. They just send AIs to do everything. They create AI battle cruisers to patrol Once Breeder and keep the zombies in. They send out AI messenger ships to learn more stuff. They send out AI merchants in order to pick up stuff from the one space station planet and then bring it back.
So
yeah, you're a rebel, man. You're escaping.
Yeah, maybe we want to escape the Matrix here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're out. You're so far out of that Matrix, you're never going back.
Yeah, we're never going back.
There are probably some AIs that are looking for the two of you.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, you guys! I just realized you guys are like the happy-go-lucky version of those guys from the first Star Wars that were like, "We're wanted men. I've got the death sentence in 12 systems." If in the very first episode Connor's hand gets cut off, we'll have completed. Well, circle of life. All right, so you're a criminal. I don't know if you get a background, Bearded. Let me double check on that. I know that true AIs have to take a bunch of stuff. Making a true AI PC. So true AIs don't roll like the rest of the players. Interesting. They only roll intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. If none of your scores are 14 or higher, you may replace one with 14 or higher. You already have one though, right?
Yeah, I got two 15s and a 14.
Yeah, let's run through this real quick. All right. So you don't have a strength score or anything like that. Blah, 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 blah. You start with Program 0 and Fix 0 as your automatic skill picks. You also get to pick 3 additional skills at level 0. If you pick the same skill twice, you get it at level 1.
So what do I get for skills?
It is all on page 285. So you're going to have to go through your character creation separately because you're different than the rest of us because you're an AI and you don't get a background. You don't have you don't have a body. Your class is true AI. You have a focus. Maybe it sounds like your quantum phylactery is with you. You are your own quantum phylactery because Connor stole you.
Yep.
All right, so you walk through that, and I'll check in with you periodically to make sure that you haven't.
What page was it again?
285.
Got it.
Let's cut back. Cotton, what are you thinking? Background, what do you got for me? Top of the head.
Technician.
Okay, makes perfect sense. So you did some mechanic work on that starship then. You keep everything running.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, cat. Meow. What do you got for me, Shep? I thought we were going random here. Are you gonna like roll a d20? How are we doing this?
Dice. Oh, you know what? I should. That would be super random, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm looking at the stats and I'm thinking of physician.
Okay.
So based on what we were talking about, someone who wants to heal the scream or fix the scream or find the source, maybe a physician might be doable.
All right. Look, it's okay to break away from the randomness and have something come to you. All right. So you get a free skill, of course, for each of you. Hopefully you've all marked it down. Next up, you get to pick 4 additional skills. You can double up a skill to bring it up to level 1 as long as your... Decide whether you want to roll for skills or pick them. So you have to do that now.
I'm going to roll.
Are
we going to do the assignment of the stat thing? That's later?
Class is after skills.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Now, if you roll, you get 4. If you pick, you get 3.
I'm not sure.
It's more like the rolling is pretty good.
I only ever do the pick. I've never done the roll before. When your character is allowed to pick a roll skill, it becomes level 0. Blah 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 blah.
Because right now we're doing the stuff based on the backgrounds, right? And then we're rolling.
Yes. Okay. So on your background, you must roll something. I'm just not sure what it is.
We roll a few times, and then you can roll the 1d6, and then something.
Right. It's not super clear to me.
Yeah.
Because again, I've only ever done the pre-picked. Building a background, no. Background, skills, and growth, no. Choosing a background. Let's cut to that. First, you get the free skill associated. Every member of that role gets that. You may either pick 2 skills, which you're not doing, Connor. You are making 3 random rolls. You get to divide them between growth and learning. So a D6 or a D8 for most of those. You know, you can pick any number, 3d6s, 1d8 and 2d6, 3d8s, etc., etc. You get to pick how you're going to distribute that. You may not get, you know, the same skill over and over again. Cotton, roll or take the skills that they give you.
I don't know. Rolling sounds kind of fun.
Very well. Shep?
I'm going to roll.
All right, everybody's rolling then. Tell us how you're going to divide it, and then, you know, let's figure it out.
Bring it to the Swedes again.
I mean, I'm gonna see what I get and then go with depend on that whether I do growth or whether I do skill.
I mean, you have to choose growth or learning first. You have 3 dice, and you get to distribute them to either the growth D6 or the learning D8.
Well, you get to choose. I thought.
Yes. You have 3 dice, and you get to pick which way you want to throw them. But
right. So
you have to decide whether you're rolling a D6 for growth or a D8 for learning first.
Right. So the first one I'm going to do is skill. I'll do that.
So you're rolling a D8 for skills?
No,
Are you rolling growth or learning?
I don't know what you're rolling for. I'm confused.
Grow. Let me. I closed the page. I got to get back to it. All right.
It is page 11.
Yep. All right. I'm doing growth.
Okay, so you're rolling D6. This is not for skills. You can get a skill only on a 6. Instead, you get a +2 to a mental stat.
Okay.
You have a high mental stat that you could push over the edge with that.
Well, I mean, I distributed my skills based on the fact that I would change them later. So I'm not sure how that plays out.
You don't have your skills yet, though.
No, this is a 4 is a stat, so I get +2 to a mental stat.
Yes, you don't have any skills except for sneak. What I'm saying is there a mental stat that you could put that into that would push you up?
I think he was saying he hasn't done his stats yet because he was waiting to see his class.
You have to do the stats first. In fact, you should have the stats done before you do this.
Yeah, I have the stats assigned, but then I was going to change it. Like when I rolled my character, I thought you could change the stat to whatever it is your intended was. Your intended like free stat initially.
No. Nope.
Because I went through like a video where it told you what to do or whatever. And that's what
we're walking through it right now. Don't worry, Connor. I'm not going to lead you wrong. So it looks like you have a 12 in strength and dexterity. Is this correct?
Right.
Oh, that's right. Because this is not one of those. Yeah, you only have bum picks for this, unfortunately.
Right.
Put this +2 into.
So
I mean, you're going psychic. I'm guessing you were probably going to dump your 14 into charisma.
Right.
Then
I think it's wisdom. I think wisdom is the stat that you do.
I think wisdom or charisma is your choice. Right. You get to pick from those two, which means you could put your +2 into wisdom now, and then put the 14 into charisma, and then you could raise your wisdom up a little bit later or something. It's not, it's not the greatest right now.
Yeah.
Getting mental was not the best possible option for you.
All right. I'll do wisdom, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, don't let me talk you into a corner here. I'm just throwing things out. Possible options.
And then I will do growth. We got PDF again. Learning.
Okay. Hit me with that D8.
Yep. 4. So I got
you have notice. You're good at looking at stuff around you.
Makes sense. And then I will do another growth. +2 physical.
Let's get physical. What are you going to put it into?
Dexterity.
Okay. All right. Cotton?
I have a question before I do this. If I took the expert class, what is my main...
So you don't take a class yet. Class is after skills.
I don't know what the stat it would use.
I believe expert is dexterity and intelligence, but let me double check before I talk myself into a corner. That is a focus. Adventurer is not that. Expert class is Additional level. I'm confused now.
I was reading it and I couldn't tell what. So, because I'm gonna put my 4 in one of the things that I need, but I wanted to make sure I put it in the right thing, and then I could stick with the 4.
You get a free level and a blah blah blah. To get started, roll d6 at your Constitution modifier. I don't know. Maybe you don't get that 14 anymore. That might have just been in the last. Warriors, psychic have it somewhere. Pick a class, get 2 bonuses. That might have just been in the old version. Let's look at the character creation thing. Choose blah 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 blah. Choose your class. Okay, it looks like you can't dump stat your main stuff anymore. I guess that was just a thing that you could do in the last version of Stars Without Numbers. So some of you might want to alter your stats around. For instance, Connor, you might want to drop your wisdom back to 9, swap your dexterity, or swap your strength with your charisma, and then bump your charisma up to a 14. Right? You follow me?
No, sorry.
All right. Reverse time for a moment with me. Your
Okay,
dexterity is back down to 12, and your wisdom is back down to 9.
Yeah.
You swap your strength and your charisma. So now you have an 8 strength and a 12 charisma. You put the +2 mental into charisma, which becomes a 14. And you put the +2 into dexterity back into dexterity, and you also have a 14 in dexterity. It does mean you have an 8 strength.
Right.
You're not strong, you're just fast and handsome.
I could lower my intelligence. Can I change that roll now or no?
What do you mean change that? You want to swap the intelligence with the strength? 8 and 9? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, so my apologies for that. Cotton, you want to put the 4 in the shitty stat that you don't give a shit about.
I'm putting in my wisdom just because of what I said earlier.
All right. Then the stat that is normally associated with your class is dexterity, for the most part, and also wisdom a bit.
Wisdom a bit. Okay, well.
Just for looking around and stuff.
I don't care about that part.
I mean, experts get so many skills, it's not going to matter. You're going to be pretty good at a lot of stuff. So let's talk about your rolling. Yeah.
I want to do 1 growth and then 2 learning, I believe.
Very well. Let's do it. You got a +2 mental. Where would you like to stick it?
Probably I don't want to put in wisdom. Wisdom's fine.
Sure, you could get that wisdom up
to a 6.
It would still be -1.
So I don't think it's gonna do much. I don't know.
Yeah, none of these mental stats are gonna bump you up anywhere, but you could get yourself on the verge.
I was gonna do like a 12 in one of them, since the both of them are good. But I don't know if intelligence or charisma would be more beneficial for my character. What are more of the fixed skills based off of?
Great question. Big skill. Now, I think again, I might be back in the other Stars as numbers. Fix is almost certainly going to be either intelligence or dexterity, depending on what you're doing. So they're not specific to a skill type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the stat, you'll ask what stat is attached to it each time we roll.
I'll just use intelligence. That sounds good.
All right. What's your next roll?
It's the 2 learnings. First one is a 3 for exert, I think. 1 to 5.
Fix. All right. So now you're at fix level 1.
Yes.
Can't go any higher than that, but that's a good place to be. What is exert?
I don't know, but it was on my recommended skills list. So
it is. It's probably something about having a very large wrench, and then having a opened up jumpsuit with overalls, really sweaty, just turning the wrench while hot blooded plays.
I definitely want a giant wrench. That sounds fun.
Just like what was the art that Rad did? Oh, for Ronin. Yeah, she has a giant wrench too. Yeah, you could just play Ronin in this game. Young Ronin.
Ronin before everything bad happened.
Exert is apply trained speed, strength, or stamina in physical exertion, running, jumping, lifting, swimming, climbing, throwing, and so forth.
Okay.
I want to point out that there was a time when I've run a bunch of Stars Without Numbers campaign. I think I would say 5 or 6. There was a time where people were jumping through open space and didn't have Exert. Were like failing left and right. They had to send a robot out to save. Actually, that might have been Star Wars. Sorry, where Toby had to save the party when they were all gasping for oxygen, jumping between shuttles. It was a bad move. It's a bad move. Speaking of a bad move, Shep, let's go ahead and make these rolls.
All right.
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Let me see those.
I like this guy's blue lips.
I'm not happy with him, but I'm glad you guys like him.
I don't know. I'm also not super down with it.
Yeah.
Blue lips? What's that from? That's from some blue lips.
I mean, there's plenty of blue lip stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Fifth Element, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I really like his pose.
Yeah, we got some foreshortening going on.
He's out here arresting fools. He's got to regulate. How you divine these dice, Shep?
So I'm gonna start with a growth.
Okay.
So
All right. What are you hoping for here? What do you want on this dice?
I'm not sure, but I'm thinking probably more mental, because I think if I can just make this guy a mental guy, perhaps.
Yeah, your
I don't know.
charisma is straight up garbage.
Yeah, but what do you need charisma for? Maybe he's diseased. Maybe he's a leper, and that's why.
That's like it. They have modern
God, I want-
spaceship technology. Leprosy has been eliminated.
So-
You have a +1 to any stat. That's
Maybe
not
it's
the
space
best.
leprosy.
Yeah, that doesn't help me much, but I'm gonna give it. How high does charisma have to go to get to 0?
8.
I guess I can find out.
It's
8?
8.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to stick to.
Actually, that follow, by the way, EJ0615, I think was your name. I mean, if you put it into intelligence, you would be right on the verge of hitting a 14 int and getting a +1.
Yeah, I think I'll go intel with that anyway. All right, and I'm going to do a second growth.
Sure.
Let's see what happens.
It's a
4.
5. No, it's a 4. All right. I tried to call it. You have a +2 mental. You put it in intelligence.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Roll
1,
that.
2. And the last one will be learning. So 1d8. Another 4. So I double up on heal. I'll take that.
Yep. You have a 1 in healing now
Okay.
because you started with the 0. Bearded, let's cut over to you. Where are you in this becoming an AI thing?
Let me pull it up real quick. I took skills in pilot, fix, program, and shoot.
Did you double up on one of them?
No.
Because you should have program, fix, and then 3 additional skills. So I
Right.
think you're missing one.
Fix,
Program, fix, pilot.
pilot, program, shoot. Maybe
Yeah.
I did miss one.
Yeah, you're missing a 5th skill.
Double up on pilot. So I got a
Okay.
1.
You're pretty good at piloting. You pick a beginning armature for your AI body.
Yeah, that's what I was working on right now.
You need to commit a point of processing to it to maintain your affinity.
Yep.
I have a question. Do you have a self-destruct function?
No.
Ooh. Okay. Yikes. You're going to get kidnapped at some point. 100%. That is happening. You're going to get sold into a slave processing unit. All you're going to be doing all day is Bitcoin calculations. I'm just going to have an NPC who's literally just Connor Hughes, just being like, with a cigar, Bitcoin. We got to get every AI we need in order to make the Bitcoin.
It's gonna be huge.
All right. So yeah, you're picking an armature, and then you'll have to do
Yeah.
class, and then processors.
Okay.
Your focus will probably be you can pick any kind of focus. Yeah.
Where do I find the armatures?
Great question. I'm gonna just Google or I'm gonna Control F the word armature, and it'll probably take me armature. I don't know. Going through a lot of stuff very quickly. Building and replacing armature. Yeah, class, core routines. Any mechanical armature in the transhuman section can be purchased. Okay, so they're in the transhuman section. Where's transhumans? Sorry we're holding everybody up, guys. We're just doing some science. Transhuman campaigns. Artificial shells.
Found it.
I think it's page 251.
Thank you.
That's not it. But it is after that. Shells and swapping body. Organic shells.
I got it.
Yeah.
Wealth and phase.
Mechanical shells. There we go.
Ships, shells, swap.
Angel, box, falcon, jack, omen, sledge, and synth.
Organic shells.
Well, synth is a human appearing android, which sounds like that's what you want.
Is that in organic shells or is that later?
It's in mechanical shells.
Okay.
Because you specifically said you weren't.
Yep.
Maybe not synth, because the synth is indistinguishable from a human. So that's where all of your stats come from. All of your strength stats will come from your outer shell. Interesting. I'm curious as to which one you'll get, but you'll probably want to take some time to look them over.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the farm, the rest of the cast would like to know how to make their characters. And I'm here to help them when I'm not helping everybody else. Next up, you choose your class. I think most of you have pretty well picked out your class. So let's go ahead and throw that. Cotton, you're an expert, right? Very well. You get some extra stuff for being an expert.
Cool.
Let's talk about it. And the thing that you get for an expert, I believe, is you roll 1d6 and add your constitution modifier, and that's your new hit point value.
Oh, okay. Well, that's... I got 6.
Okay, you have 6 hit points. Congratulations. You gain a free level in a non-combat focus related to your background. So you're going to get a second focus when we do focuses in a moment.
Okie doke.
Once per scene, you can re-roll a failed skill check, taking the new roll if it's better. So you can say, no, I want to take a new one. And when you get, this isn't important yet, but when you gain an experience level, you gain a bonus skill point that can be spent in a non-combat, non-psychic skill, which is how you're going to end up having 1 billion skill points.
Okay.
Connor, what are you thinking? What are we thinking here?
Adventurer.
So you're going to go partial psychic, partial what?
Warrior.
Okay. What is your psychic discipline you're restricting yourself to?
Telekinesis.
Okay. All right. You're the beat stick then.
Wait, what? Sorry.
The beat stick.
Beat stick. Yeah,
You can
hopefully.
beat people to death. We had it on Sons of Gold. We had a psychic whose name was Disaster Arsenal, who would just manifest rifles and swords and just beat people to death. He was the holder of the knife ball. Only he could wield it with his telekinesis.
That makes
safely.
sense.
And he actually killed himself in the first episode with the fucking knife ball. It's okay. He got better.
We don't tragically end like that. Yeah. It'd be terrible.
You will be Look, you guys are like, I want shooting, I want adventure, and I'm like, you'll die. A pistol deals a d6 of damage. You will die in 1 hit. And you guys are like, nah, it's fine. We'll solve the mysteries of the universe together. And I'm like, you'll die. It's fine, because as long as you have a biomedical psychic, you can bring people back from death as long as you're there when they die. And it's very quick. So
Yeah.
you can take a focus into psychics now, and you also, as a partial warrior, can take a combat focus. So mark down that you get 2 free focuses when we do the focus. You get an attack bonus of +1, and you get 1d6 +2 plus your Constitution modifier in hit points.
Right.
So let's roll that. You're gonna get a 2 on the die.
I am.
You are.
26 +2 for your max. Okay.
Yep, plus your con modifier, which I don't think will be relevant yet.
No, it's not.
It's not, because you're super average.
Oh.
He rolled a 1, ladies and gentlemen. He's the strong man of the party, and yet he's got half the health of the mechanic who knows nothing.
Weeds are at it again.
Do you re-roll the subsequent levels, or is it the build? It's built upon. Like, is it like our other game, or is it? Additive?
Yes, at the second level, you'll notice you roll 2d6 +4 under partial warrior. You re-roll at every level, and you take the higher amount of hit points, whether it's your previous or your new.
All right, so
you're already used to the stars without numbers bullshit. You've already done it before. It makes your life hell. Speaking of making people's lives hell, Shep, what were you thinking of with this random ass character?
I'm going adventurer.
Partial psychic, partial expert.
You got it.
Okay, what's your psychic discipline?
It's going to be that bio 1.
Yeah, I predicted that. So
might as well go all in.
You can take psionic focuses if you would like. Your effort rating is use your wisdom and constitution, the better of the twos. 1 plus your modifier. Yeah. So sorry, Connor's is 1 because he doesn't have a wisdom or a constitution, and yours is
0.
Also a 1. Well, you get 1 plus that
1. Yeah.
So both of you have an effort level of 1.
Right.
All right. As an expert, you get another non-combat focus, so you'll get 2, and you get an extra skill point every time you level up. So let's talk about these focuses, guys. Like this is the big deal. These focuses can change how your characters are. They can give you free skills, they can give you free stats, they can give you really cool abilities. I mean, Starship Captain is pretty cool. Starfarer is great for pilots. Psychic Training can give you a pretty good boost if you're a psychic. Hacker, Diplomat, Healer, all of these are really good. Gunslinger is amazing if you don't want to die a horrible death in a gunfight. What are you thinking? Some of you get to pick 2, so all of you get to pick one of any, although the psychic ones are restricted to being psychic. And most of you get to pick a second one because you're either an expert or a partial expert. And I guess, Connor, you get to pick a combat-related one because you're a warrior.
I get 3? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or I get 2?
You get 2. You get 1 for being a character and a second for being a warrior, but you must pick a combat focus.
Gotcha. Okay.
You could take assassin. No. That doesn't sound like it would match your character.
No.
Close combatant.
Although he is sneaky, so maybe he had to kill a few people to get out with
assassin that. Means you are practiced at sudden murder.
Okay. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Not just he happened to do it 1 or 2 times.
Yeah. Did you kill somebody?
No, I'm just saying he did. I'm not admitting to anything here.
I'm asking you now. This is the thing I need to know.
About your random character, Connor, and what they did or did not do.
Did you kill somebody on the way out? That's what I want to know.
No, I don't think he would. He would he'd try to avoid that.
You could take sniper, shocking assault.
Let me review him for a little bit.
Unarmed combatant. Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
Yeah.
Page is this on?
I believe it starts on page 19. For picking focuses. I mean, you as an AI will also get to pick a focus, apparently. Let's cut back to you, Bearded. Which armature did you end up with?
Chose the box.
Ah, so you took the basic.
Yeah.
Interesting. You just want to kind of be like all-purpose.
Pretty much. I'm assuming Connor's character built me out of whatever he could find, so it's a pretty basic shell that I'll probably be upgrading as we go along.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, you can take your core out and stick it in another, you know. A box is more difficult to damage. You start with an AC 15.
Yep.
14 and 12, as well as gaining 10 bonus hit points. Oh, that's only if you have an affinity. Okay. All right. I mean, having 10 bonus hit points is pretty fucking good if you take that affinity.
Yep.
But I believe you'd have to take your process. But you're not there yet, right? Because you are still picking focuses.
Yep.
Meanwhile, as long as I'm just talking, let's talk about those focuses. Has anyone settled in on one? Got something they're interested in?
I'm thinking about specialist and gunslinger.
Interesting. What are you thinking of becoming a specialist at?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was looking at the skills.
You could take specialist and fix and then get 3d6 drop 1 on fix and just be really, really, really good at fixing things.
I could.
You could literally be one of the best people in the entire galaxy at fixing things.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So let me ask, is this accidental? Are you the son and or daughter of famous engineer? Did you go to, Yale School of Engineering? Did you just one day pick up a wrench and you're super smart?
I don't think she went to any schools for this because I think she wanted on that mercenary ship when she was pretty young.
So you're just naturally really good at this kind of stuff then. It comes to you easily.
She's just naturally good at fixing stuff.
You didn't need to go to college for 5 years in order to get a 4-year degree.
Nope.
Looking at the camera real quick. I feel like it's a good time to mention I have a Bachelor of Sciences in Electrical Engineering that I basically never use. Did it take me 5 years? I'll never say.
Only 5 years? Psh.
Yeah, so you're now super good at fixing things. What was the other one you were thinking? Gunslinger?
Yeah, the gunsman or whatever it's called.
Well, there's armsman.
Gunslinger.
And there's gunslinger. Okay. Why are you good with guns? Why are you good at shooting?
Because she grew up on a mercenary ship.
So they taught you how to be good at shooting then?
Yeah.
You can draw on turn, so basically you can Han Solo dudes, as long as you have a stowed weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You can add your shoot skill to the range weapons damage roll. Make a note of that, because that's very important. If you can get your shoot up to a +1, that means you have a +1 skill, which is a big deal. You also now have shoot level 0.
Cool.
I can't wait to see what gun you have. Connor, Shep, Bearded, what do we got? We got a focus. Starfarer. Okay, so you're pretty good at calculating drive distances. So fortunately, because you took Starfarer, if and when you have a starship, we now no longer need to make checks for almost everything. Spike drills are difficult. So let me tell you something. Having to make every single spike drill is really bad. The consequences for a bad spike jump can range from being stuck in space for months at a time, running out of stuff and then dying, to getting thrown into an entirely different sector and having to start a second campaign in that new sector. Both of which happened at the same time on my other show. They got stuck in space trying to make an incredibly difficult 3 jump on a ship that only had a 2 drive. That they could only attempt because the pilot was a Starfarer, and they got stuck jumping over and over again, running out of food and supplies. Their ship had more people than the capacity, so they were running out of supplies faster, and they finally ended up with a misjump that threw them in the wrong direction.
Damn, son.
So they could no longer go home. Yeah, I had to make a whole second campaign for it. No big deal! It was a huge fucking deal. but I was willing to play along. So not rolling is really good.
Cool. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Can I say?
I took an eel. I buried its guts. It sprouted a tree. Now you've got coconuts.
So I have a question for telekinesis. Does that count? Like using it in combat? Because before you mentioned how you could have telekinetic swords, or you could have telekinetic.
Yes, that requires you to take the arsenal talent under telekinetics.
Right. So when you use those weapons, whatever format they take, that's the skill you use, right?
Probably. Let me double check.
If you make a gun, you're shooting a gun. Like, but if you move an object, like, so I imagine.
I think you probably use your telekinetic skill, actually.
Okay, so you wouldn't use a combat skill in that scenario.
That's correct. Telekinetic armory. Attack rolls can use... Yeah, it says right here in the skill. Attack rolls can use dexterity, wisdom, or constitution, and may use the telekinesis skill as their combat skill. Armor created can grant you 15 plus your telekinesis skill bonus. So you can either make shields to block, or you can make swords and guns to shoot outwardly. And because it's psychic, it's all invisible, right? Like someone shooting at you will literally watch your bullets stop and like stop in front of you and then like crumple down, and lasers will deflect off of an invisible field around you. You'll point at somebody and a gun like holes will appear in their body and they'll be like, ah.
My guy makes it look cool. He makes it. It's not invisible. It's like it's a crazy color one way or another.
You hold both your hands up and a Tommy gun appears in front of you and turns.
Yeah, he looked up the Tommy gun on the internet.
So, can you take an ability in telekinesis?
Well, I'm going to do the...
You're a level 0 telekinetic right now.
Right, and I'm going to do psychic training. That's going to bump it
up.
Right,
Right, so now you're a level 1 psychic. You can manipulate objects with both hands and lift up to 200 kilograms, which is like 440-something pounds. And you're going to take telekinetic armory as your ability?
I haven't decided that yet. I was going to get to that. I was still working on the focus.
Okay, because all three of those are really good. I mean, pressure field literally lets you float through space without any problems.
Yeah, they're all really good. So that's what I was going to think. But I actually accidentally added one. I'm trying to see if I can delete focuses.
Connor.
I wanted to see what it would do.
Connor.
Is that not easy to remove?
So you still have a second focus to pick. I'll take a look at your sheet.
Okay, I will work on that. Has everyone else picked all their focuses? That was cool. So quick.
No, I haven't.
All right, give me some time then. Maybe.
You just keep adding more focuses, Connor.
I added the psychic training one. So
you hit the button that's called modify, and you can remove close combatant twice.
Nice, thank you.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Magic. All right. Are you ready to pick your psychic focus? Or sorry, your psychic training? Beyond your, because that's a focus, but you need to pick your psionic skill.
Right. Well, I wanted to pick a focus first.
All right. Do you have it, or should I jump to somebody else?
Give me a little more time, please.
Okay. We already did you. Shep, you have 2 focuses, I believe, correct?
I think that's what you told me. So I'm going to take healer and psychic training.
Okay. So you're now a level 1 biopsionicist, which means you get some pretty cool stuff. I'm going to go throw this out here, but the one that lets you keep people from dying is a pretty good one.
Which one is it? I'll take it. Or I'll read them. Does anyone else have to pick? I have to do my hit points too. So here's my D6.
Cures
coming up.
any poisons.
All right. I got 6.
Oh, you actually don't even need it. So your core technique at level 0 lets you do it. You can automatically stabilize any mortally wounded target as a main action. This must be used within 6 rounds of their collapse. So if you just touch somebody that's dying, you stop them from dying. Now that you're at level 1, you can heal people for 1d6 plus 1 points of damage when you use it on a mortally wounded target.
Okay.
So you can not just stop people from dying, but you can bring them back up and put them back in the fight.
Very good. And I got 6 hit points too, if you didn't see that. And then I get to pick one of these level 1 powers, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
When you use Psychic Sucker on people, it gives them System Strain. I suggest you definitely take a look at both System Strain and Psychic Sucker to figure out how that goes. So the biopsionic powers are, you no longer need to commit effort, so you can literally just bring anybody you want back from the dead constantly. Keep people from dying from disease and toxins, which are really big. I mean, you can literally just reverse someone's gout by touching them. Or if they're dying from a deadly neurotoxin delivered from a Brazilian wandering spider, you can keep them from dying. Or you can remotely touch people up to 100 meters away.
All right. Yeah, let me read over them real quick.
All right.
So, next person.
Connor, jumping back to you. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to do Gunslinger.
Gunslinger as well. Let me ask you, you live in a peaceful world, but did you learn to become a gunslinger since you've escaped? Or for some reason, have you always been fascinated with guns living with pacifists?
I mean, I think that on the farm, as we'll call it, they...
I want to remind you, you live in an underwater base.
I know, but like that's what they might call the farm.
You call it the farm? All right. The CIA would like to have a word with you.
and you know, he's been looking up on... He knows about the world around him through the database that's there.
No, I'm sure that there were several intelligent sea creatures in your underwater base that said, just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more could you be asking for? And then you look towards the orbital elevator and said, under the sea. You're literally the male version of Ariel. And you've escaped with your best friend now, Robot Sebastian.
God damn it.
It is now.
Well, we gotta roll a new game.
It is
guys.
fucking canon to me that Bearded is capable of singing. Unmade Gaming, thanks for the raid. If you don't know Unmade Gaming, tabletop role-playing streamer right now, putting out some ethics questions on Twitter. What is paid GMing? What is paid casting? Check out Unmade Gaming. Mike has been on before, has done a couple of guest spots for me, most famously on Mistborn. Shit was wild. Connor, meanwhile, back to you. You were in the middle of telling me about how you're Ariel.
Well, I mean, I wasn't, but
what is the male version of Ariel? I just want
to that. That's fine. That's fine. But I mean, so I was going to go with that. On the internet, there's all kinds of westerns and Western movies type of things, and then they let the humans watch those, or other types of movies from that time. And so he's sort of been watching those, and he's picked up a few things, and there's like training available of some kind, and so that's where he picked it up.
Is he going to be like John Wayne?
I mean, if I could pull it off, I might say yes, but I mean, I won't be able to do that.
Reach for the stars.
That was so good.
We're surrounded by the stars, dumbass. We're in space. That's when Connor shoots him on the head. Yeah, there's a question. Are you a redhead, Connor?
No.
That's
no.
unfortunate.
But he does have the David Bowie face paint.
What is the David Bowie face paint?
I can look it up. I can put up a link or...
No, I think I'm good.
You good?
I think I'm good.
Well, then you can just wait and see for me to draw the character.
I can't wait.
All right.
First episode, Connor's going to come in with a lightning bolt on his face.
Yep.
Let's do this, guys.
Ready to go.
Connor's going to cosplay as his character. It will be amazing.
It wouldn't be.
I've cosplayed as my characters before, man. King Cats.
Yeah, you have all those hats. I mean, I don't have any hats. No
you know,
hats.
you can get hats at Amazon.
I've heard of hats, but
You could also get face paint makeup at Amazon.
I mean, I might do that if I could get some of that.
So
color.
what is your Oh, sorry. Your second focus is gunslinger.
Yep. I
Interesting.
answered that question finally.
Yes, you did. You did. Do we
I did.
have anybody that has an outstanding focus? Shep took his 2. I think we got them all.
Mm-hmm.
Bird has my class.
Okay. Sorry, which one did you take?
Expert.
Oh, sorry. You only get to pick AI, true AI or partial true AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's underneath the artificial intelligences class thing. So it is on page 287. It'll tell you how many hit points you get and your processing level and all that junk. I think partial true AIs can take partial expert or partial warrior.
I'm gonna do true AI.
You're the truest true AI.
Yeah.
You could carve away your quantum phylactery. Have you done so?
Say it again.
You could carve away your quantum phylactery. So when your quantum phylactery, the thing that is the core of your robot body, is destroyed, you're dead. You're dead,
Right.
dead. There's no recovering you. But you can take a small portion of that and hide it somewhere, and when your quantum core gets destroyed, you'll snap back to that other part, like a lich from D&D.
Yeah.
Have you carved a little piece of that out?
Yes.
Okay.
I played a lich in D&D once.
Really? That's
How'd that
wild.
go?
So our campaign took a turn.
Yeah, we have
And-
to.
You became a lich.
We found that magical well that you drink from, and it random stuff happens that you're compelled to drink from.
I don't know what
And-
that well is, but it sounds terrifying.
And eventually, well, it did a lot of good stuff for me, even though I was addicted to it. Like I turned
Are you codependent
No.
with this well?
Should've
Like,
left it in
you're
the
like,
yeah,
look,
I was.
the only
I
good
was-
things happen when I drink from it, okay? Just because it wants me to drink from it doesn't mean that it's bad, guys.
I commanded an army of ants from one of the chicks in the well. I turned incorporeal, so everybody had a 50% chance not to hit me whenever I was in a battle.
Uh-huh.
And then
Must have been
The
tough playing
guy-
baseball.
in the party next to me took a drink from the well, and he destroyed the world. But this was after he had made a deal with like one of the high bad evil gods. So she brought us all back as liches to finish the deal that he had made, and
Oh my god, I don't know anything that's happening. This story is terrifying.
but you know how as a lich you get to pick like what your body is, or the thing that you go back to.
Yes.
And I made mine a grain of sand, and then I threw it on the beach.
Wow. Holy shit, you made your phylactery a grain of sand.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. Nobody
The only
found it.
problem with that is that grain of sand would radiate evil, which means a random paladin on a beach patrol could
It's
end up.
okay though, because the guy who destroyed the world did so much bad that the entire landmass were on radiated evil.
Listen, I have to tell you, there's never a sentence that begins with "it's okay" because the world was destroyed. No, God, I'm sorry.
I mean, it was nice.
All right, guys, you get one more thing to do. You get to pick one non-psychic skill to represent your hobbies, expertise, natural focus, or talent. Next, we'll do equipment, but we'll do that after the break. Does anyone have a skill they want to throw out? Man, we had giant space whales in Sons of Gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were like the Zerg transport vehicles. They
That's
would
terrifying.
swallow materials on planets, then they would fart themselves into space, travel at very slow speed between planets, and then barf it all up and fart themselves back into space again.
I was thinking more along the lines of like chasing the white whale.
No, sorry, that's not how it worked. It was way more biologically relevant. They were genetically engineered too. I'm sure that will make you mad.
Yeah.
You seem really mad about genetic engineering for some reason.
Not mad. It's just like normally eugenicists are not nice.
They're not eugenicists. They're geneticists.
They were until you changed.
It was a mistake, Connor. It's a mistake.
Yeah, we're gonna let you live it down.
Sounds like a Freudian mistake. I mean,
all right, where the hell are?
I never make that mistake. Eugenicists.
My bad, Connor. How much do I have to apologize for this?
Boys once more.
Yeah. Until the next time, I can feel free to feel like I need to get one in on you.
Anybody got a skill that they want to throw out here that they're adding?
Like this is what would make up?
Yep, you just pick an extra skill. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a non-psychic skill. Anything you want.
Is Connect? Sorry. Is Connect like also your ability to persuade, or is
no? Connect is your ability to find people.
Okay.
Connect is a lot like circles from Burning Wheel.
Okay. Yeah. And talk is more like persuade then.
Yes.
Okay. And what's lead? I guess I can read the book. I'll read the book.
Lead is literally what it sounds like. It would be to lead a group of people.
Oh, okay.
Connect. Find people who can be helpful to your purposes and get them to cooperate you. Roll it to make useful connections with other people. Find people you know where to get a list of goods and services. Be familiar with foreign cultures and languages. You can use it in place of talk for persuading people that you find with Connect. So if you use Connect, you can use your Connect skill on your connected people. But if you're talking to a random person, you have to use talk.
I'm picking exert because I think all the humans on this planet, they have to do a lot of physical labor.
You feel like a planet filled with TL5 God AI involves humans doing. I feel it's more like Wall-E, right? That's my view of humanity from this.
See, I was thinking that they like to run tests on humans.
The humans like to run tests on other humans.
No, sorry. The AI likes to run tests on humans.
But the humans are in charge, aren't they?
Are they?
Question mark. I mean, it was my planet, but now you just made it your planet. Very well, sure.
Well, that's why I don't want to.
No, man, there's treadmills everywhere. Blood pressure cuffs descend from the ceiling. Little oxygen containers. You just made it happen, Connor. This is give and take. All right, maybe the AIs are in charge. Is that why you escaped?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's always how I sort of envisioned it.
All right, interesting.
I'm always thinking.
But why would you bring an AI with you?
This AI was different, and maybe I needed it. I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. How pragmatic.
Well, I did say he was pragmatic so far.
Yeah. Well, you said you were pragmatic. You personally, Connor Hughes, are pragmatic.
I don't think I said that. I think I said the character.
No, I'm saying it now. You are pragmatic.
I mean, yeah. When an arrow hits an arrow, I think an arrow hits a target. I mean, you know.
When an arrow hits an arrow, it does hit a target.
Yeah.
If you're Robin Hood.
You know what I meant.
Bearded, what do you got for a special skill?
I'm still trying to find where those are. So
the skill list is on page 8.
Okay.
Also, if you open your character sheet, any of the skills there. You can pick any non-psychic skill.
Oh, got it. Just any of the skills that are there.
I'm taking no.
Okay, so you just know stuff.
I just know stuff.
Yeah, you just study. Well, I mean, you're a doctor, right?
Yep, an academic.
You're not just a psychic that can bring people back from the dead. You're also a fully fledged actual doctor.
Yeah, full-on medic and historical too. So I'm still going down that path that he knows as much as there is to know about the Scream and the history of it.
What is program for?
Program is for writing programs. It's also for hacking.
Take one in that.
Officially, program is operating or hacking computing and communication hardware. Roll it to program or hack computers, computer control hardware, decrypt things, or operate communications tech.
Your AI, you can pull an R2D2 and plug into the computer and hack it.
Yep. So just add a +1 to that. Or what?
Yeah. So it'll become 1 for you, right? Because you already have a 0.
Yep.
Cotton, what do you got for me? Special skill.
I was kind of thinking of program because it would make sense, but then at the same time, I kind of thought about punt just because it sounded fun.
You
But
never
his strength
know
is
when
bad.
you might need that punch skill.
I know. I kind of want to take it. You know what, Sharon? I'm going to take punch.
Okay. Connor, I'm circling back to you. What do you got?
Exert. I went with exert.
That's right. Because you run on treadmills all day.
I mean, that was your vision, but sure.
That was his life before this life.
Bearded, circling back to you. What do you got for me? Oh no, you said program, right?
Program.
Very well. We've got all of this stuff. Guys, we're going to take our halfway point break. When we return, we're going to do equipment, and then we're going to figure out the actual background in these characters. Like their name and what they look like and where they're from.
Oh, Jesus.
We know a lot about Connor, but not less so about everybody else.
Well, we know Bearded is
freaky. Well, Bearded's not really a person, okay?
Okay.
Whoa.
Is a machine really a human being, okay?
Whoa.
I'm just relegating Bearded's character to the second-class citizenship that she will suffer.
My character isn't a human either. I get it.
Yeah, your character isn't a human.
Let's see about that.
Just to be clear, you are not legal to be operated within the Confederacy. It's an all-human organization with no robotics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or psychics that are...
No. You have to be bio or telepathic psychic and registered with the Confederacy. All right. Look, we'll talk more about this later. We'll be back shortly. Stick around for the second half.